So we just saw a scene where we solved our Excel formula, right? How you're creating the logic. Hi, welcome. In last video you saw two steps that you can take and apply towards any kind of problem you face in your analytics career, right? It's a problem solving steps. You found two steps. Also, we discussed about six or seven different scenarios when you get into analytics, let it be business or sales or marketing or research, anything. When you become an analyst, what are the different kinds of scenarios you will be facing and where you need to use the same two-step formula, right? Same two-step tactic. You saw that in my last video, right? Now today in this video I will take a problem statement in Excel and I will solve that, and I want you to pay more attention here because you will see actually how I am constructing a formula in Excel. What is the logic behind how the thinking process works and how I'm breaking it down to different steps. And at the end, when I join it, that becomes a solution, right? That is the two step. You need to break it, then you need to join it. Correct? So before we get into my laptop, I want you to give some kind of assumption. That is what I'm assuming, that you are good at Excel. You know the formulas, like for example, count if, then if conditions, how the nested things works, and or not, and address functions, and some other functions like indirect functions. Okay, I'm assuming you know all these things because this video is not to teach you how this formula works. This video is all about how you construct a logic and how you solve a problem using the two-step approach. That is, you need to break it, and after that, at the end, you need to join it. Okay, so we will do that. That is my assumption. And second thing, we will take a real-time example that I have seen people are facing in marketing team, marketing analytics, right? When they collect lead and all this stuff. So it's a very small example. It's easy stuff. It's not very complicated. So don't get overwhelmed. Okay, it's a very easy stuff. So there will be a set of logic will be given to you already. So what is the conditions? Okay, and after that we will apply our logic building stuff. So already you have the logic, okay, business logic. Okay, you will be given the statement, this is what you need to do. But after that, when you are framing it, using how you are framing it, how you are thinking, how the problem will be solved, that we will be doing live. Okay, so now I will get into my computer. Please pay special attention. If you don't understand, try to repeat it, try to watch it again. And if you have any kind of question, please don't forget to drop the questions in that group, okay, so that I can come and answer your questions. Okay, don't make sure you put your questions in that group. Okay, let's get into the laptop. Okay, let's start. So this is the data. This will be the data. So I have purposefully hidden a lot of columns because these are real-time data, and this is confidential information. I cannot share them. But for the demonstration purpose, yes, I have kept couple of data points just to make sure you will understand things easily. So the requirement is this, business logic is this. And also second thing, you don't need to understand what is MQL, SQL, SAL. That is not required for these sessions because I'm not going to explain you the complete, what is the meaning of all this, but I'm going to tell you this one is a real requirement our marketing team usually is getting. The business question here is for each lead. Okay, there is a lead. If you see, there is a lead owner, like there is an ID or lead ID is there. Forget about lead owner. I'll just hide that also so that you don't get confused. Okay, so lead ID for each lead. So question here is, if the qualification level for this lead has passed through both SQL and SQO. For example, this one, let me just convert this SQO and SQL. this particular lead has both SQO and SQL, then this lead, okay, this particular lead will be tagged as qualified from SQL to SQO. Okay, right now you don't need to focus what is SQL, what is SQO in marketing terms. Just take the requirements. Okay, now this is a lead. Okay, 2433243, this is a lead, and for this lead, if the qualification, if you see the header qualification level, if the qualification has passed through both SQL and SQO, then this lead will be tagged as qualified from SQL to SQO. Similarly, if the lead qualification is SQL alone, okay, it do not have a SQO. Let's say this particular example, this lead has only SQL, right? MQL and SQL, it has SQL, but it do not have SQO for this lead. You don't see SQO, right? Only SQL. So in that case, you need to mark currently at SQL. Similarly, if lead qualification is SQO alone, right? Let's see this one. This lead has only SQO. It does not have SQL. So it will be marked as direct SQO without passing SQL. So this lead should be marked as direct SQO without passing SQL, and the lead qualification who do not have SQL and SQO both, for example this particular scenario, it should tell as status below SQL. Okay, so that is the logic, that is what the business needs, that we need to just mark. This is a very small requirement, guys, but you need to understand the logic here, how I'm building it. Okay, how I'm building, that will come slowly. So that is the requirement. So just by looking at it, we can easily tell that should be an if statement that we need to write. Okay, but if statement works in just one cell, you cannot, but we need to check both the cells for this particular lead. Both the cells we need to check if it is matching these conditions, right? And next requirement is more data points will be added to the same Excel file. Okay, so we cannot just take it to SQL, write some code and throw it back, because the requirement here is we will be adding more data points to the same Excel file, and the status should get updated automatically. So whatever status you will create here should get updated automatically once right now there are 79 entries, right? Total 79. If you see, there is 79 entries. Now in future there will be more entries, right? And based on the entries, your status should get updated. I'll just do all. Okay, the status should get updated. So now as an analyst, you need to think what is the best way to optimize it so that you do not have to keep on doing the same stuff regularly, right? That is the automation part of the Excel, right? If the requirement was not this one, then you can, if the requirement is not like there will be additional rows will be added to this Excel sheet, and it should not get dynamically, it should not get updated. If the stakeholder doesn't want that to happen, then you can easily put this into SQL and write some logics and get the status for this. Okay, so we will get into SQL stuff later on, but right now the question is we need to write some formula here itself, so that I'll just hide this column, this is very big. We need to write some formula here itself so that, you know, next time when some new entries comes, it will get updated automatically, the status one. Okay, so looking at the scenario, looking at the question itself, we know now it's the if condition we need to write in a formula, right? If this is this, then we will put this. Otherwise, else if this is this, then we will put this. So now, as I told you initially, my assumption that you know how if condition works, so I will start writing the formula. Just look at it. If now logical test, it goes to if this cell should be SQL or MQL, but we need to see in this two cell, for example, for this lead ID, we need to check these two cells, right? For this lead ID 2432811, we need to check these two cells. For this lead ID, we need to check these two cells. For this lead ID, we need to check this many cells, right? Whether the SQL, SQL present or not. Similarly, for this lead ID, we need to check this many cells, because if you see, the same lead ID could have multiple qualification levels. So you need to see what are the levels they have gone through, and if there is SQO and SQL, based on the requirement, based on the logic, it will get updated the status. Okay, so now if I want to check both, so what I will do, I will use countif here, because countif we count if SQL is present, then it will throw 1. If it is not present, it will throw 0. Let's write down the statement if countif range. Now this is my range. I'll write it manually, okay? Just look at it. S2 to S3, okay? And criteria is SQL. So our initial thing is both SQL and SQO, then qualified from SQL to SQO. That is what our first statement should be. Now this is what happened, one logic, but we want to integrate both SQL and SQO. So what I will do, I will put AND here. I assume that you know how and if all these things works, right? Countif this to this, comma, I will show SQO. Okay, that is my logical statement. We have completed the logical statement, okay? This, you see, logic test. Okay, this is what we need to test first, if it has both SQL and SQO. So guys, countif will return 1 or 0, right? Now if this is true, now what is the true? If it is true, then we will put this one, qualified SQL to SQO. Okay guys, stay with me because this is going to be very fun. Don't just go away thinking that this is that simple, because you need to drag the formula. When you are dragging the formula, S2 S3 will become, will refer to something else. So this will give you wrong things. We need to make it dynamic. So stay with me how we are constructing the formula. This is the first step. Okay, if condition, this will work. So we will just write the simple if statement first in the first step. After that we will start breaking it. Okay, make sure you stay here. Qualified from SQL to SQO. Now if it is false, if this is false, then what is my next condition? My next condition is if, I'll give countif same range, this range equals to, countif this, comma, if it is SQL, right? SQL, comma, if this is the thing, countif this, if this is true, logical statement, if it's true, then we will write currently at SQL. Currently at SQL. Okay, next. If this is also not true, if. Now I will, guys, the reason I'm writing countif is because you have to check in this total cells. For this lead, you have to see this cell, this cell, this cell. Now if I just write if this equals to that will not work, right? I need to see, and count will return 1 or 0. If SQL is present inside, then it will return 1, right? That's why I'm using countif operator here. Now countif function, countif this. Now my next one is SQO, so I'll just write SQO, and this is it. If it is true, then we'll go to direct SQO without passing SQL. Okay, SQO without passing SQL. Now if it is false, what is next? The last statement is status below SQL. This is the last statement. We will close the if conditions. Okay, now you see this will give you currently at SQL, because this is SQL. Now let's say I'll convert this to SQO. Okay, direct SQO without passing SQL. I got it, it's working. SAL, it says status below SQL, then I'll just write SQL and SQO. It says qualified from SQL to SQO. So we are right? SAL. So this is the objective, to check all the time whenever you're writing the formula. This is called unit testing. All the time you will test whatever formula you have written, it's working or not. So now what we did is we just created the formula, but now if I drag this one, will it work? Absolutely it will not work, because you see this reference has been mismatched. Now it's referring to something else. If you say this one referring to this one referring to this thing, but for this one we need to refer from here to here, right? For this particular formula it should refer from here to here, but it's referring to this. right? So I cannot keep on writing the same formula everywhere in 79 cells, right? I have to go and change it manually, and tomorrow if there is 10,000 entries, how to do that, right? So what I did is I just formed the statement. Now the question is how to make it dynamic. You see, H2 to H3, you just, when you look at the formula after that, you will see, okay, this 2 and 3 are actually making the problem. If you see, I'll write the formula, everything is remaining constant. If you see this particular place, you just keep your eyes in this particular place, you will see here everything is remaining constant except the numbers, right? 6 and 7, the row number and the column number are changing all the time. So we need to make it dynamic. So what we will do is, let's come up with a formula that it will give 2 and 3. Let me just write it, starting row, and let's say ending row, right? Start row and end row, because these are all rows, right? 2 and 3, these are rows. This is second row, this is third row. So for this one, you need second and third for both the cells. Both the formula you want this to refer to 2 and 3. So if I'm going down, it should not refer to 3 and 4. It should always refer to 2 and 3, right? So how to do that? Let's take this instance. Let's start our formula from here. How starting row, how we will come up with the starting row. That is, see what we did, we just broke the formula. Okay, we are now making it dynamic. We just broke the formula. So what we'll do is, we'll do this. This is based on the lead ID, correct? Now if this equals to this lead ID remains same, then you need the same row, right? The above row, let's say, let me just put it 2 for the time being. Okay, how you're constructing the formula, I'm showing it here. Now here your starting row should be 2, because this is 2, right? This is 2, this is the starting row. So what I'll do, I'll just put 2 here, and next we'll start writing formula from here. This is how you will construct a formula. You will see, okay, if lead IDs remain same, then you have to, it has to be this one, or it has to be the row one, this particular row, right? For example, if this equals to this, look at this point, okay, if this equals to this, then I will give this one, okay, 2. Otherwise I will give the row number. Row of which one? This one, this particular row, row 3. What? Now let me drag the formula, you see if it works or not. See, this is the starting row. So what here it does, it will check this one, this. If it is not same, then it will take this row. So this row is 4. Similarly, it will check, you see, it will check this and this. If it is same, then it will take this one, 4. Now come here, if it will check this and this, okay, it's not the same. So what it will take? It will take the row count, that is 6. Come here, it will check this, it's same, so it will take data from here and put it here. Similarly this, you see, this one, it will check this and this, and it will take data from AE12. AE12 is this one. Got the point, right? This is how you will come up with the row. Now if I just copy and paste this formula in the first one, it will work, because this and this is not same. That's why it will take the row. Okay, that is why initially what I did is I just put it 2, so that it will be easy for you to understand how I am coming up with the formula. Okay, so what I did, I found out the first row. Okay, now, okay, that is the starting row. Now I need to create the end row. How to come up with the end row? I cannot just add 1. So what I will do, I will see, end row is easy. I will see how many times this is repeating, right? Let's see, count if range this, comma this. Let me drag this. Okay, so this is repeating twice, this is repeating twice, this is repeating 6 times, 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is repeating 4 times. Okay, now if I join these two, then I'll get the end row. For example, this plus this. But you see, this is 4, but my end row should be 3. So what I will do, I'll just deduct 1. See? Now actually end row is this one. This is intermediate. Okay, this is your final. This is the start row and this is the end row. How we constructed it? We first broke this one, right? because we wanted to know, we need to make this dynamic. How to do it? We just see it. Okay, this is how the guys, when you start practicing it, this things will become more easier. Okay, but this is how you will break the formula. This is how you will construct your own logic, even though logic is given, but you need to make it dynamic. How to do it? That's the business question. That is the solution you need to provide to the stakeholders, so that automatically the status will get updated, right? So we got the starting row, we got the ending row here. Now the question is, it has to be h2 is to h3, right? How to do that? Address. Now address is a function which will return you the address. ADDR. Now this is the third step. When you start breaking the formula and you don't know how to do, you need to ask how to get it. Now h2 and h3, what are them? Those are the addresses. You will say we don't know the address function. You need to know this, right? Because how you, otherwise you cannot construct it. You need to research, start researching. That is where research skill will get developed once you once you start approaching in this way. You see, what I did, I saw h2 to h3. Now h2 is an address, h3 is an address, right? We need to make it dynamic, so we came up with this one, 2 to 3. Now how to bring this address function, how to get the address from this 2? So what you will do, address, you will see the row number is this one, right? This is the row, comma, column number is always h, so I can hard code it to 8, comma, absolute, we don't want absolute, we want relative, so we'll give 4 and it will become h2. Now let's see h2, h2, h4. So this is the first converted, right? Now second one, similarly we want h2 to h3. So what we will do, similarly we will do address. Now the row number is this one, 3, right? This is the end row, comma, 8, comma, 4. So we got h2 to h3, correct? So now what I will do, I will just add this one, ampersand this, sorry, this, h2 to h3. That is the end objective, right? We wanted to make it dynamic so that h2 to h3 will work. So what I will do, I will just take this one, okay, I will take this one, and instead of this h2 to h3, I will just paste it. Okay, I will just paste it. Instead of, what we will do, let's do one thing. Instead of h2 to h3, what I will do is I will just give this one, okay, which is aj2. I don't need to paste it, I just give this reference. So wherever h2 to h3 is there, what I will do, I will make it aj2, right? It's giving the, we're taking the same reference. h2 to h3, I'll make aj2. h2 to h3, I'll make it aj2. h2 to, okay, it's done. You see, status below SQL, right? Now most of the time we think, okay, this is correct. So what we will do, we will just go here, we'll drop it. Okay, now you see, even though it is not throwing any error, it is always giving status below SQL, which is wrong, right? And why it is happening like that? Because it is going to the last condition of our if else statement, nested statement. It is giving status below SQL. That means something is wrong, and the wrong is what you are giving h2 to h3 as a reference, but it is actually not taking what is there inside h2 to h3. You see, initially it was h2 to h3, correct? Now you are referring to an address which is aj2. Now aj2 is having h2 to h3. Okay, so this will become countif h2 to h3, but it will never give what is inside h2 to h3. So h2 to h3 is actually this one, right? This one, but it is referring to this one. So now you need to understand the function of indirect. Indirect, what it does now, it will take the address and it will say what is inside that address. So indirect, if I start giving indirect aj2, so it will take h2 to h3 from here and it will see what is exactly inside h2 to h3, which will SAL and SQL. That is the end objective. So what we will do, indirect of aj2. So everywhere what I will do, I will just paste it indirect. Instead of aj2, we will use indirect aj2. and indirect AG2. Now see the beauty, right? Now the formula is constructed. Now if I give you this formula directly, it is very tough to understand how you are framing this kind of formula. It is not easy, but now you see this is very easy to form. First you need to just write whatever the function is been given to you. After that you break it into several pieces. Okay, this is how we will break. Then based on practices you will come to know different functions like indirect where to use, address where to use. Now automatically this will pop up, and now the solution is there, right? Now 100 of entries, even if you do, even they come tomorrow and they will start giving some entries, it will work. Now it is coming ref because I haven't dragged these formulas down. Okay, let's drag all the formulas down. You see, now tomorrow if I come and I change it, you see this is on this one, right? I want to make it SQL. I got it. Currently SQL, SQO. I got it. So we just saw a scene where we solved our Excel formula, right? How you're creating the logic, and a lot of different videos will come, and the file will be posted inside the group. Go and check the group. Okay, make sure you download the file and start working on this file. Check the video and parallelly work on your own logic. Okay, start working on this same file, and you will see a lot of things will get clear meanwhile while you are practicing this stuff. And this is one stuff, guys. In second video I will tell you how to do root cause analysis, taking a practical business problem, and we will see, okay, how we will go deep dive and how we will do root cause analysis. That will help. That's using the same step one of this one. We will break it and we will go deeper inside the root cause. How we are performing is the same similar step. You need to break one by one. You need to break the problem statement into multiple instances, and after that, once you join, you will get to know you will get the solution. But in the root cause analysis you will do the same step-by-step approach, but you will go a deep, bottom-up approach. That is, once you start asking questions, once you start breaking the big question into smaller pieces, you will see that once you go to the entire bottom, and you will go top to up, you will get your solution. So that is coming on in the next videos, but this one is how you are actually breaking a question, how you are breaking the BIS logic, how you are creating a logic. This is what this video was for. So make sure you go to the group, download the file, and start working on it. Okay, guys, before we leave, I just wanted to tell you, situation is not good right now. Make a social distancing. I have seen people are going and gathering. I'm not telling you are going, but do it. Act responsibly. Make sure you understand the situation. It's a very tough situation. We need to support each other by making a social distancing. Okay, stay tuned, be there in the group, start asking questions. Make sure you take as much value out of these sessions, because these are, I'm telling you guys, this will help you a lot once you start applying a job in analytics field. Okay, the transition will become very easy. These are the core concepts. Okay, make sure you understand, make sure you practice, make sure you take the value out of it. Start asking questions, because that is when you will improve. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.